Hi guys, welcome back to the Oasis Healing Temple. Thank y'all so much for being here with me today. Actually, I should say this evening because I am recording this at night, hence the lights that you see coming across the board. So for today's reading, I wanted to see what was going to be opening up for the chapter ahead. So what's coming through the door, so to say, or what's up ahead for us. What messages want to come through for this new chapter. So we're going to get some significator cards to help us tune into which reading is meant for you. So I just got these angel numbers, so we're going to use the angel number and the crystal to help you decide which pile is meant for you, which message is meant for you. So pile number 1, please. We have one angel number to help pile number 1. What message, what angel number for pile number 1? Getting closer. Okay. Ooh, pile number 2. Which is wild, and pile number 3. Okay, so let me sync the card with the crystal so we can tune into the reading. And then I will explain to you guys the crystal that is chosen for the pile. You may be drawn to the crystal or the card. So pile number 1, your number is 1441, and that is with the candle quartz, also known as the Atlantean love star, the pineapple quartz. I love the Atlantean love star personally because this is the biggest stone is the oldest soul. And all the other younger souls are gathered around the wisdom of the oldest, of the biggest crystal. And I believe this one even has a little bit of the Lremurian markings on there. So you may be drawn to the number 1441 or the candle quartz. Pile number 2, your number is 2002. And that is with the ruby record keeper. And these have little pyramids on there. I'm not sure if y'all can even see these on the camera. Ruby record keepers are also said to store records. You massage the triangle pointing down to help you open up the records, and then you set it on your third eye to download the information. And then when you're finished meditating, you just close the records by rubbing the pyramid in the opposite direction. For pile number 3, you have 0707, and your crystal is a Lremurian. This one has records on all 3 sides. It is also a trans-channeler crystal, which means that it has 7 sides. It goes 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3 on the different facets of the face. I love this one. It also has a key activator for your thumb. I love these gemstones. Obviously, if y'all could see what's around my board here, it's just nothing but crystals and all different kinds of elementals and energies to help support these messages. Alright guys, these are your pile choices for today. Pile number 1, 2, and 3. If you need more time to meditate on which pile is meant for you, just pause the video. If you already know which reading is meant for you, the timestamps are in the description box below, and I will see you all in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. You were drawn to the angel number 1441 and the candle quartz, Atlantean love star, pineapple quartz, candle quartz, etc. So what I love about these two being paired together, let me read this off and then I'll explain a little bit more. So the angel number says unique skills, life goals, mission, sense of self, honesty, important projects. It's that time of intense self-development. Focus your mind on your craft. You already have what it takes to succeed, but practice makes you a master. It also serves to find your true purpose. Leveling up in your career or business is a priority right now. And with this intense self-development and focusing on your craft, unique skills, with this stone we have the master here, and then we have all these students that are surrounding this old soul. So I find it very synchronistic that these two are paired together. So because we have the teacher and we have the students, right? And then this card speaks about you mastering your skills. And what I also think is pretty neat is we have this number 1441, and for me, like I know there's a lot of information about the 144,000 souls and the ascending and everything, the chosen ones and everything, and I see it a little bit differently. I believe that there's 144,000 original ascending masters who originally first came to Earth when the call was sent to the galaxies and the star nations of different collectives to come help and descend to Earth to help raise the frequency and the energy and restore planet Earth. And so there were 144,000 volunteers who came to Earth, and then they had children, and I believe you're one of the children of the 144,000. So, and that's why you have these unique skills. There's this mission here, a sense of self. I feel like you have like a sense of duty, or there's a mission that you have, and there's something that you're here to master and bring forth. Yeah, especially with these life goals. Honesty, you're a very honest person. Important projects. Yeah, I feel like you're here on a mission. So let's see what's up ahead. We have karmic board clearing. Yeah, that's what's up. Energetic clearing. Rewrite your story and live your truth. Yeah, you are here to help cleanse these lower vibrational energies and uplift the planet. You may have been born into a family that was very difficult, or been around, just had a lot of challenges and hardship in your life, and I feel like that is something that part of your mission of why you came here was to alchemize the lower energies and bring in this higher frequency. Holy Grail. Inner discovery, finding sacredness. You are what you seek. Oh. Let me see what else we have. The crown chakra, divine connection, holy experience, miraculous energy. Look at that. Yes, you are here on a mission. You are very connected to source. This may be a download that you're about to receive, since we have this crown chakra opening for the path that is waiting ahead of you, where you feel this connection to source within, that you are tapping in to that divinity, to your divine potential, your truth. Yeah, this Holy Grail, the Holy Grail is within us. You yourself are the Holy Grail. That is our connection to source, and this love, this energy, this connection that's just overflowing within. And this peace of mind. Let's see what else is awaiting you. Look at that. We have Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process, and Dharma. Okay, so yeah, this karmic board clearing, I feel like you have done a lot of healing work. experienced a lot of challenges and you have overcome a lot of them. And we have this retreat to recharge. It's asking you to take some time out so you can be open to receiving these upgrades and these initiations, and opening yourself up to receive these blessings that are ahead of you, ahead on the path. So there's some blessings, your Dharma, your purpose. Leveling up. Yes, this upgrade. We have Root of Fire. Risk it all. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is more of the clearing out who, these old stories and everything. There's this purging, this cleansing, purification that's taking place right now, especially with the fire. And see this light that's just pouring into this grill, and it's just overflowing. Have y'all seen the videos where they're showing, the process of cleansing and clearing? And we have, like, say it's a cup of wine, it's like red wine, and they're just pouring like water into it, and it's clear, and it's supposed to represent your love and your affection and your attention and your healing energies, and it's being poured into like the darkness. And the more that you pour your love into it, it starts to cleanse and clear, and eventually it just becomes purified and it's water. And I feel like that is what is happening, the process that you're going through right now. And there's this cleansing. Maybe work with the violet flame here to continue to cleanse out any of these lower vibrational energies, so that you can take some time out for yourself to rejuvenate and allow this divinity, this divine love, to cleanse and purify you and fill you with like source love, source light. You've done a lot of work, and you're being asked to take some time out to rest and open up to, source, and finding your truth within the struggle, within everything that you've been through, and returning to your center. You have mastered a lot of these lower energies here on earth. You have Boo-Boo, the Fool, possibilities and potential. All right, this is a new beginning for you. This is like the Fool card. This new beginning. Yeah, you have done a lot of the energy work, and now you're being asked to rest, be open and to receive, potentially have a little bit of patience, mastering your own energy, deciphering truth from the illusion, because now you're easily able to do that now. Look at these many hands. Yeah, I feel like maybe this was where you started, and then as you continue to filter out the lower energy vibrations, like the work got lighter and lighter and lighter, until now you're this chalice, you're this open vessel that is ready to receive your purpose, your divine mission, to open up that crown chakra, to receive this connection to source, to your higher self, and then to ground it here onto the planet, and then fulfill your ultimate mission of why you incarnated here. Besides the, working through the lower, the old programs and the old patterning and the ways of living here on earth, having been born into a family lineage that was very toxic, perhaps, just done a lot of karmic clearing, and now you've done the hard work, and now it's time for you to begin like your mission, having learned from all of this. Now what's this new phase of life going to be for you? So let's see what the rest of the cards have to say about this new beginning, this potential, and these possibilities that wait ahead for you. We have leadership. So you are meant to be a leader. Like I said, you are one of the children of the Ascended Masters who incarnated here on earth. So you're one of the children from the collective that are meant to help build this new earth. Inspired action, root of earth, exactly. You're here to plant these new seeds, to germinate these beautiful seeds of love and light and harmony and balance. Look at all these trees here. The tree of life, you know, rooting in a new tree of life that's built on love and balance and patience. Yeah, and it requires you, like, sometimes we don't know what awaits us on the path, so we have to take like a little leap of faith and just trust that we're being guided. That's where we have to open up that crown chakra and allow ourselves to be guided by our guides on which steps to take and wait to be guided. Act on our inspiration, things that light you up, what makes you feel good. This is an 11. This is divine inspiration. Yeah, encouragement to keep your faith and to keep going, keep moving ahead. Look at all these blooming. So there's something, a seed of potential that you have that you're meant to germinate here on earth. We have space. This is the potential. This is the thought from the void, you know, where everything exists, where nothing and everything exists at the same time. And that is where we extract, you know, all of creation is from this void space. And that is with the possibilities, the potential here. And it's almost like a blank canvas. We have yin. Oh, I love that we have that with the Holy Grail. This is some feminine energy here. Restoring the balance on earth, restoring the divine feminine frequency here on Mother Gaia. That could be part of your mission of what you're here to do, is to balance the masculine and feminine energies. That Christ consciousness. New life. Look at this. That's amazing. A new beginning for you. Let's see what the final card is. Oracle. Wait for important information. Okay, where are you going to go? Let's put you over here. Okay. Yeah, so this new beginning that you're here to manifest is this new beginning here on earth. I believe that's part of your mission, part of your leadership skills. Maybe you're going to have a business since we have the Oracle. Maybe you are somebody who is here to be a channeler. But you're also being asked to wait, to interpret the signs on when to act on the potential, this inspired action, and is using the gift of you following your intuition, following your heart. When this opportunity presents itself, you're being guided to act on your inspiration. And what is it that you're wanting to create? And tap into the feminine energies, you know, of going with the flow and nurturing yourself and making sure that you're balancing the giving and the taking energies. You know, make sure you're pouring into yourself, you're taking time out to rest, and then that resting, you will receive this guidance on when to take actions on this new beginning for you, because there is new potential waiting ahead for you. And at the moment, I believe you're in this state of cleansing and clearing your energetic body, opening up your vessel to receive this divine connection. Trust in the process and wait to be guided further in this new beginning ahead. You're meant to be a leader. Pile number 1. Okay. Let me get just a few messages from the angels. Further messages for pile number 1 about their new beginning. Do we have any more messages? Things are going to be changing and shifting for you. Just allow the process to unfold. Make sure you're taking time out, like I said, pile number 1, to rest and rejuvenate. You've done a lot of hard work. You've been working for a long time through many generations, many lifetimes, many cycles. There's a code, a key, a seed that you contain that's meant to be planted, a pattern, a specific pattern that you have that's going to seed the foundation for the new collectives, the children that are being born and raised in the future generations. So there's a new tree of life that's meant to be seeded here on earth where it's more balanced. All right, we have Tanzanite, ready to love again. Ooh, that's so... Let me see if I can read that. You are helped from the past. What? Oh, you have healed from the past enough. Oh my goodness, you guys. You've healed from the past enough to open your heart to new love. I'm so sorry, you guys. It is so pale. I don't know if y'all can even see it. They did blue writing against a blue background. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's horrible. All right, the next one was, okay, so let me reread it. You're ready to love again. You've healed enough from the past to open your heart again. And this is the Holy Grail. It's opening yourself up. You've done the healing work. You've done the karmic, the hard, heavy work. And now you can lift your arms up freely without the burdens of the past. You've done so much healing on yourself. And now it's time for you to rest and take a break and be open to receiving further guidance on the path ahead, because you're meant to seed new life here on the planet and you're meant to be a leader. All right, the next card says Divine Life Purpose. Trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. Well, I mean, that's just perfect synchronicity, right? What else? I don't know how many times I can say it without, repeating it over and over again. And I know I do that sometimes, so I'm sorry. All right, let's get a final message for you, pile number 1. Can I get it? Okay. Just throw those across the board. We have attention. I am attentive to all that manifests within me. When negativity rises within me, I transform it into light, love, and hope. My love for others is unconditional. I forgive. My desire to improve is constant. I am firm, brave, and hardworking. That's who you are. Exactly, pile number 1. This is who you have been. And then we have I am light. Ooh, yes you are. I always have hope, no matter the ordeal. I have faith in a better future. I turn darkness into light. Again. I open my heart to others. Yes. And to God, and am spiritually strong. I draw light to me and shine with all my being. This is who you are. Pile number 1. Congratulations on doing all this hard work. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for incarnating here on the planet and being one of the ascending in the collective. Those you've chosen to come here to help Mother Gaia and to help the collective, all the souls here on earth. You are probably a brother, sister, soul tribe member of mine. Thank you for being here on my channel. I appreciate you so much. And, would love to have you back again for future readings if you feel called to be a part of this channel. Thank you all for being here. I'd love to hear from you in the comments as usual. And y'all take care. Have a blessed day. Sending you all of my love and light. Take care. Hi, pile number 2. You were drawn to the angel number 2002 and the Ruby Record Keeper. So ruby record keepers, you know, they hold a lot of records, ancient records, and I believe that the right individual can access these stored information, these memory banks, and these crystals. It also relates to our root chakra and feeling energized, feeling safe, you know, it's connection to our past. And I'm going to read the angel number for you and put your crystal up here. Okay, we have 2002, the void. Longing, technology, ambition, genius, forward thinking, stress, and depression. You have more control over your life than you realize. Learn and execute what interests you. Turn things around. It gets better with time. There are plenty of friends to make, so chill out, have fun, open up, and go outside. Okay, so like I was saying with the root, it is the color red. Ruby works with the root chakra. It helps ground us and makes us feel safe. And I feel like maybe just with this card, this might not be the whole reading, but I feel like maybe you might not feel a connection to your true self, or maybe there's a little bit of insecurity or feeling like you don't have a lot of, you know, I feel like there may be a lot of fear, and it's saying stress, you know, something that doesn't feel right in your life. I feel like the way that you see things has been maybe a little bit difficult, or the way that you see life now at the moment has got you a little bit stressed out. And I can completely understand that. At the time of this reading, you know, the election was is over, and so I know there's a lot of chaos right now in the collective, and I just kind of stay out of the arena and I kind of ground a little bit, which is why this card is telling you also to go outside, to ground your energies, to be in the present moment and to come out of your head space a little bit, because the head, when we get all up in our head and then our thoughts of the future, you know, we start to kind of spiral out a little bit, and we kind of have this unnecessary worry, unnecessary stress. Or if we're thinking about things in the past and there's this longing or this regret, we end up feeling, you know, depressed. So because we're not living in the present moment, we're actually living backwards. So you're meant to be more in the present moment, and the more you can step into the now space by going outside, being in nature, it helps us to engage in all of our senses in the environment that's surrounding us right here, right now. So that's why you're being asked to go outside, so that you can come out of the head space a little bit more and get into that root chakra. All right, let me see what else we got here. Oh my goodness, we have inner earth, the base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. This is an invitation for you to work with Mother Gaia to get into feeling safe and reconnected to the present moment, feeling grounded. Maybe you have too many worries of the future, like I was saying, or there's regrets from the past, but there's something that, like maybe little weeds that are in our base chakra that make us feel, you know, like somehow we're not worthy or we're not good enough, or that we're, you know, not normal or different, things like that. Or, you know, things from our childhood are usually when we first get those seeds. And the way I see them is, you know, the seeds are the programs, they're the first initial belief systems that we have, the foundations of our family and their belief systems that kind of get forced on us as children. And then when you become an adult, you know, you start seeing things a little differently because you now have lived a full life. And so maybe the way that your parents have taught you don't quite, you know, fit in with your belief system and your structure anymore. And so it's time for you to weed those old programs out. Those old thoughts aren't serving you. The old ways of doing things, the old structures and belief systems, they kind of need to crumble, and so that you can build a new solid foundation, one that's more grounded for you, you know, more connected to your energies, the way that you see things through your own personal experience. Okay. We have Order of Melchizedek, embraced by light, mission uncovered, don't give up. Okay, so you're being asked to be strong and to strengthen that root chakra, your foundation, your roots. And a lot of times, a lot of us we're born into like family traditions, and sometimes those traditions can be very outdated, and some of them need to be, upgraded a little bit. So I feel like you are here to upgrade some of those foundations that are no longer serving you, and get in touch with who you really are and what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel secure, what is, your truth through your own personal experience, not when someone else tells you and wants you to believe. Like, what do you actually believe? And it requires you to take some time out to connect to this root chakra. If you haven't done any of these kinds of investigations or learnings or anything, maybe it's time to understand what the root chakra is and how to connect to those earthing energies. We have creature of fire. Choose freedom. Yeah, it's time for you to free yourself from some old programs, some old belief systems, and old structures, old ways of seeing and believing and doing things, because they just don't fit your lifestyle. They don't fit the way that you see things, the way your heart loves, the way your heart feels. It just doesn't feel right to you. And it's okay. You have to acknowledge how you feel, because that is your truth, and what somebody else tells you to believe doesn't make their truth isn't your truth. And no amount of forcing it on you can make you feel, comfortable in somebody else's energy. Like, you have to be in touch with who you are and get into your own sacred space and feel your own energies out, your own truth out. Who are you without all these expectations of everyone else, And it takes a lot of strength to stand in that truth and to be different and unique, because a lot of us are born into these old traditional families because we're meant to stir things up, because there's an outdated, they're outdated, they're outworn, and there needs to be some elevating of those energies and belief systems and structures, because we're always growing, we're always moving forward, and we can't stay in the past. We have to grow and we have to move, and new traditions, new foundations need to be laid so that our families can continue to grow, so our minds can continue to grow, and our hearts can continue to expand and encompass more love, more understanding, and embrace more source, expand our minds, expand our consciousness, all those things. Everything needs to be upgraded and expanded so that we can constantly receive more and connect more. We need stronger roots. Success. Ooh. That's why I like. Choose freedom. So you will be successful in this. No place like home. This is you, yes. Feeling home and connected to yourself, to who you are. Yeah, I feel like if you haven't already liberated yourself from these programs and these old structures, you're about to. That's what's on the path for you, to the sea. Yeah, I feel like this is the journey that you're about to go on. You're about to find and reclaim, your truth, your root chakra, who you are, all of your I ams, that you are claiming, not somebody else forcing them on you. Who, not what your family wants you to be, not what society wants you to be, how they want you to love, how they want you to dress, how they want you to connect to spirit, to source, to God, creator. For me, I see God as a frequency. It's an energy. It's not a being. For me, I think God is a terminology that reflects a masculine energy. And for me, source, creator has no gender. So like God, I think if we are all gods, it is a frequency. It's an energy. And yes, we all are, but we are not the source creator, right? And I believe that we all connect and tap in and connect to source in our hearts, and it's a personal journey, and it's a personal experience, and it's a personal connection. So, and we don't need anyone to tell us what our truth is. We need to understand and get in there and learn who we are, and that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of reflection and time, to be with yourself. And so if you find yourself being lonely sometimes, it is because you're on a journey of self-discovery, of learning yourself, learning your likes and dislikes, your actual truth. And the more you can stand in that truth and you become who you really are, you start to attract people who are just like you. Because they're like, oh man, I respect that person because they're being themselves and they don't care what anybody else thinks. They're not going around like being, rude and disrespectful about it. But you can, wear your hair whatever kind of way you want to. You can get tattoos if you want to. This is your temple and you can decorate it however you want to. And I think that everybody has a unique light and they should be able to shine it. And those who are drawn to it, those are your people, that's your tribe. And those who aren't, well, they're not your people. And not to take it personal, we're not going to be everybody's flavor of tea. So you got to be comfortable with that, comfortable in your own skin. Oh my goodness, we have community. Exactly. Stand in your strength. You will find people who are just like you, but you have to be honest with yourself and expressing the real you. Shaman master, be graceful in movement and action. And you can, be your truthful self without being, disrespectful to others. Because everybody else is expressing their self and everybody has the free will to do so. And allowing other people to express their truth, as long as they're not being disrespectful about it, I don't care. I love everybody expressing themselves. We're all meant to be unique and different and to explore our likes and our dislikes, and we're all meant to be a different part, like a unique spark of the divine, So I think you just kind of let everybody be themselves, because we would want others to let us be ourselves. And it's like that, treat others how you want to be treated, and master your own energy, and don't let anybody, knock you off of your, your solid rooted foundation. Be so rooted in yourself that anybody could have whatever kind of, I want to say criticism or opinion, and it not be something that makes you feel, to second guess yourself or anything. Like, be confident with who you are and be okay taking, standing in that truth of who you are and not needing that person's approval. Because you don't need their approval to be who you are. The only person's approval you need is yourself, and send all that love to you, because you don't need these other people's opinion. We have summer, bask in the joy and light. And I love the bee, especially with the community, because bees work as a hive, they all take care of one another. And I believe that when you do find your people, because you're shining your unique bright light for all of them to see, so everybody who is part of your, that are on your same wave, your same frequency, your same vibe, they're going to find you because you're shining that beacon of light for others. This kind of reminds me of the firefly. We have star ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. Exactly. There may be, others who are trying to find you, and they can't find you because you're hiding away. You're not standing in your truth. You're afraid to shine your light. You're afraid to be open and vulnerable. and sharing the truth of who you are, because maybe, you know, your family makes you feel like you're not good enough, or, you know, being who you are isn't accepted, and so you know, you kind of maybe hide yourself away just for the pleasure of others, and that's not fair to you. What about your happiness? What about your light? What about what you're here to do? You know, you're not going to be able to live your life if you're living it for others, and that's no way to live. We have Hermit, retreat and recharge. Yeah, you're being asked to go on a journey within, to get to know yourself more, to get to know yourself better, to understand the voice of your soul, and to listen to your own inner guidance, and not to look outside yourself for anybody else's approval, not to look outside yourself for anybody's guidance on how you should be living your life, what you should be doing, where you should be living, what is worthy, you know, to you. You have to figure that out for yourself. What do you see as success? What do you see as true love? What do you see as, you know, a healthy relationship? Things like that. What do you need in a relationship? You know, a lot of people don't even know what they need in the relationship because they haven't even gotten the time to learn themselves, to know what their needs are. Okay, we have 2 more cards. We have Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Oh, I feel this for you. See, and I feel like you just want to be seen. You just want to be acknowledged for who you are. But nobody can see that because you're hiding who you are away. You're not shining your light. You're kind of hiding your light away. And it's time for you to stand in the truth. Love yourself. Pour love into yourself. You are worthy of love. You are deserving of love. Don't look for anybody else to fill your cup, you know, and that's the thing about this. We have this mirroring happening here. So the way you see yourself is the way others are going to see you. And if you believe that you're not worthy, you're always going to be alone, you know, you're never going to find your true love, things like that, you're always going to be alone, you will see that being reflected to you in the world through your experiences. But if you shift these programs and believe in your heart that you are deserving and know that you are deserving and worthy of love, you will create that world for yourself through loving yourself, by changing your belief system, shifting these structures and these patterns, loving yourself for who you really are, and not looking for anybody else to give you that loving and approval. A lot of times our parents, you know, and as children, we don't know how to tell our parents our needs. You know, we don't know to say, you know, I need some words of encouragement, or I need a hug right now. I'm feeling a little, you know, abandoned or neglected by you, because, you know, your parents are always worried about the bills, and, you know, they don't understand a child's emotions. They're not inside in the child's mind, so they can't interpret. You know, we can only go by what the child expresses to us, and children don't have the mental understanding of their emotions, so they can't say, you know, I need you to love me for who I am, and I love you, I want you to tell me that it's okay to be unique and to be different and to see things differently, you know, and to express my own truth. We don't have, you know, your parents aren't doing that for you sometimes. And when you get out in the real world and, like, it seems like, oh, everybody's got it all figured out and everybody's just enjoys doing what they're doing, and maybe you see things a little differently, and you maybe feel like you're the oddball. But there's a reason for that, you know, there's a reason why you're different and you're unique, because you're here to change things, and to love yourself, love your uniqueness, love your beauty, love everything about yourself. And the more you can pour into yourself and love yourself and see yourself for who you really are, and then to start expressing that part of you, others are going to be in love with that. You know, they're going to be drawn to you, and you're going to start being that magnetic energy that starts to attract others, because you're now pouring into yourself instead of running away from yourself. Okay? This is like, it's like setting your heart on fire. We have Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. Exactly. This This is that mirroring energy of giving and receiving. Let's see where I can put this over. I'm going to put it over here. And this reflecting energy. You have to pour into yourself and give to yourself. And it's like the world of opposites, right? It's like reverse psychology. The more you pour love into yourself and you're kind to yourself and you start shifting your I am, start doing your positive affirmations like I am lovable, I am beautiful, I am kind, I am attracting true love, I am worthy, I'm deserving, I am starting a new life for myself, I easily express myself, I express my true self, things like this where you start pouring into yourself and you start visualizing and shifting your focus and you begin reprogramming yourself is what you're trying to do here. You're pulling out these roots of the past so that you can anchor in this new version of yourself, the truth of who you are. You begin to become this vessel, this magnet that starts attracting that life towards yourself, that version of yourself. You start to envelop in that energy and you start to create that life for yourself. You start physically manifesting it. And then those people who are drawn to your light, your community of people are going to find you. This is your time to create your foundation, your roots, your truth, to lay the foundation of your truth. And you have ancestors that are waiting for you to do this. They've been waiting for somebody to change the programs, to change the structure, to anchor in a new root system for the family. Yeah, and I feel like you may have felt like, I feel a little abandonment, a little loneliness for you. And that breaks my heart for you because I want you to see how lovable you are. But you have to be able to see your own light. Nobody will see it until you see it. Okay. So try to go back to those moments as a little child when you felt that way and be your own guardian angel and give yourself a big hug and big loves and tell yourself that you're going to be okay and that you are amazing, that you're beautiful and that you are loved and that you're always going to be supported and that you got your back, and just lift yourself up and inspire yourself, love yourself so that that version of you can hear its own guidance, whatever got you through those moments, you will hear yourself speaking to yourself. We have deep emotional healing. Your heart is ready to heal from the past experiences and you are willing to devote time and energy towards therapeutic care. Yay! That's what I'm talking about. It's time for you to heal yourself, to heal your heart. We have angel light, spiritual or religious community. Join with like-minded people for friendship and increased spiritual growth. So maybe reach out to a spiritual community, anybody who has the same interests as you, maybe join some of those groups, or maybe there's some cause or something that's really dear to your heart. Maybe get outside, and find something that you can engage with that it is around other like-minded people. We have control issues. Utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing that others may try to control you. That's where that strength comes in. Okay, you have to remain true to yourself and not betray your own heart out of the approval of others. And this can be really hard for children and their parents, especially if parents are super religious and you're very spiritual, and the way that you see things and connect is very different than their way. And so it can be very hard. And I feel so bad for anybody who has to struggle through that, because I believe if you are somebody who's, spiritual, you should accept everyone as they are, and their journey is their own journey. And love, especially for your children, should be unconditional. You're not hurting anybody, you know, like if I believe that some people don't practice what they preach sometimes. So, and I feel really bad, and parents especially should come from a place of, no matter what, I'm always going to love you, even though I don't agree with some of your choices, I'm still going to love you. But they shouldn't like put you down and criticize you and devalue you in any kind of way like that. And I feel like if you're experiencing things like this, then you might have to set up a little bit of boundaries for yourself where you protect your heart. And, you know, it doesn't mean cut them out of your life, but it's where you set those boundaries where you know who they are and you know what they believe. And, you know, sometimes when they're set in their ways, there's no changing them, you know, and just like they can't change you. And you have to come to that place of acceptance and just allowing others to be who they are, and to limit your time with them so that they don't steal your joy and your heart, you know, until you become completely rooted and grounded in your truth of who you are, and where their truth and what they say doesn't hurt your heart so much, you know, because I feel like when you're very empathetic and you're very open and very nurturing and kind, you can allow people to like hurt you very deeply, especially our parents. So you have to be able to set those healthy boundaries of going, well, I know who they are, but they don't truly know who I am, and they don't accept me fully. So I have to set up healthy boundaries where I live my life separate from, you know, my parents and everything. And I don't need their full approval for my life. I have to live my life for myself and find my happiness, what makes me happy, because I'm not living my life for them, you know. We have diamond. Value your self-worth. Thank you. You are God's precious gem. Exactly. You have to give yourself that value, that love, and not seek it outside of yourself. Let yourself sparkle and shine. You are guided to be bold and show your bigger than life self to the world. Yay! Look at this. This is you. You are this beautiful light, this beautiful gift that needs to be here on earth. And you might not feel like that sometimes. You might feel like an outsider, but it's probably because you're not from earth. And that's why you feel so different. And that's why, you know, and I completely resonate with you, pile number 2. Because when I was younger, I did not feel like I fit in. I felt different from everybody else. The way I saw things was very different. I didn't understand how people could hurt one another and treat one another the way that they do. And it would break my heart a lot. I didn't understand the way that people could hurt each other. I mean, even physically hurting somebody. Like, I couldn't watch certain things, and I learned to kind of just like hide myself away and find out who I was safe to be around and who wasn't safe to be around. And there wasn't a lot of people. And then, you know, even as I got older, I even allowed family to treat me horribly out of my love for them, and I would make up excuses. Oh, that's just, you know, how they are. They're always like that first thing in the morning, or they're always late. They never show up on time, or they always cancel them. You know, there's always an excuse that we give people to treat us poorly. And it ends up devaluing us, and it makes us feel like we're not good enough or we're not worthy enough. And I, let's say within the past 4 years, have found my strength and my truth to be able to set those boundaries. And sometimes people don't like that. People don't like you standing up for yourself. You know, they liked it better when you stayed small and you just allowed them to walk all over you and control you. How dare you stand up for yourself? How dare you call me out on my poor behavior? You know, and then like when you start looking back over the relationships, you start questioning like, did they even care? You know, and were they ever really there and very supportive? Were they really ever engaged in your life and your feelings and what you were going through? You know what I mean? You start questioning those things, and it can be very, very hard, very painful, and very eye-opening. But it can also be very strengthening. It can also be very empowering, because then you start to really see who you are and see how big of a heart you had, that you could love so much that you were willing to overlook that much, out of your love for them. And but you got to start loving yourself better. You got to start seeing how worthy and lovable you are, and that your beautiful bright light isn't meant for those people who don't value it. It's meant for people who do see you, for the community that's waiting for you to join them, who are shining that same light, that unique spark that you have. There's several out there who are just like you, and I'm sure I'm one of them. So I want you to pour some love into yourself, do some spiritual therapy with yourself, get in there, do any kind of shadow work, journaling, those types of things, positive affirmations, things that make you feel good to empower yourself. Pile number 2. I am sending you so much love, so many hugs. And yeah, that will be your reading today. Sending you all of my love and light. Y'all take care. Have a blessed day. Pile number 3. You chose the 007. That just came to me. I'm sorry, I had to laugh. With the Lremurian Quartz. And I'm going to read for you the angel number before I tell you a little bit more about this crystal, because in reading this before pushing the record button, I was reading the card and everything, and this crystal started to give me a little message. So I'm going to read to you the angel number. So we have 0707, compromise, self-awareness, forgiveness, professionalism, empathy, tenacity, and freedom. Let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges. Express your emotions and aim towards a compromise. Where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. Okay. So what I think is so funny with this 00 and 77 here is that there's always two sides to a coin, two perspectives anytime there is two people involved, right? And so I love where you could be on one side observing the number 6, and somebody could be standing on the opposing side and seeing that same 6, but they're seeing a 9. And so they have their point of view and you have your point of view. Neither one of you are wrong in your perspective, but it's just through your angle that you're able to see things. And sometimes, depending on people's experiences, it can cloud their judgment, and through their experiences is like their perception, what can cloud their judgment. A lot of times when we experience emotional things, we can see things through that, through particular lenses, through that particular type of filter, through our experience. And so for them, like, that can be their truth, but for you, it can be, this is your truth, and if you don't have, somebody who's willing to have the relationship and try to understand the perspective and your point of view and having this conversation, then it is best to move on and set those healthy boundaries for yourself. And it will also help them set healthy boundaries for them as well. But if you can work out compromise, if there's a way to have a conversation and say, well, I understand your point of view through your experience, you can see things through that way, but for me, this is how I see it, and you can have relations in that way where you can both have and honor and respect each other's point of view, and it not be something that where somebody's trying to force their opinion and their point of view on you to make you shift yours. Nobody should be trying to do that. It should just be having that mutual respect of honoring each other's perspectives and that being their truth, for each one of you having your own truth and that being okay and being able to honor it. But like I said, if you don't have somebody who's willing to understand, where you come from and your point of view and why you're feeling a certain kind of way, why you're seeing things a certain kind of way, and them giving you that understanding and compassion and empathy of, I can understand why you see things that way, or why this has been your experience, and I honor that and validate that, and that's a true authentic relationship. They're not trying to change you or ignore your truth or deny your experience in any kind of way. There's understanding. And same for the other person. If you can honor, well, I can understand that that was your experience and that was your truth, and having that, but this is my intention, also if it's something that involved you and your behaviors and your actions in some kind of way where there's blame being placed, by all means, you defend yourself and your position and explaining your intentions and your actions. And if they're unwilling to accept that, where there's no meeting of the minds, somebody's maybe trying to flavor their truth and spin the truth in any kind of way, you know what I mean? And they're not truly being authentic and standing in their truth and taking responsibility for the actions and the decisions and the choices and stuff, then it is best to just set that boundary. And if there is no way to compromise or move forward with the individual, then it's time to, cut the cords with this individual. Also, what I wanted to say about this crystal is quartz crystal, what I really love about this one, when you have quartz, the clarity part is a masculine energy, and the milky clouded part is the feminine energy. And this crystal is a balance of masculine and feminine energies. And the more you work with the crystals, of course, so let's say this is our perception that can be very clouded sometimes by our point of view or through a filter that has experienced a lot of trauma, and there's a lot of unhealed wounds, and we can see things through these dirty filters and ways of seeing things through our own traumas. And the more we heal ourselves and cleanse ourselves, we start to see the truth of the situation with more clarity, because we're not clouded by our traumas. We're not seeing things through a dirty filter. The lens can be cleared and there can be understanding. And that's ultimately what we're trying to achieve, so that we're not trapped in the past and we're not holding on to repressed emotions and holding on to, our angers and regrets and tragedies of the past, unresolved issues and everything. And sometimes we don't get to receive clarity. Sometimes maybe our issues are with a past loved one that's passed on, or a relationship that is to the point where there is no more conversating with the individual. It's just way past time to find that resolution. But that's where journaling can help you, writing things out so that they're not in your head, and finding that resolution on your own and making peace within your own being and your own peace of mind so that you can move forward. So let me get into your reading and see what else this wants you to know. But that was a big message that came out for you with this 007. So there's a mission that you're meant to go on, and I feel like it's finding some kind of balance and restoring balance. All right, let's see. We have Akashic Stargate, aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. So there's a lot of doorways that are opening up for you. Just letting you know, it is nighttime now. We have, at the time of this reading, we have shifted into the daylight savings. So some of my readings are probably going to be in the evening time a little bit, because, I do have I do have a job, and this is my things that I just enjoy doing. I feel like this is part of my calling, and it brings me so much joy to channel these messages for y'all. But it is going to be an evening thing for me. So, and I do like to have a little cup of coffee. So I'm just going to be sipping on this in between these readings because doing all this talking and the channeling and everything, it does give me dry mouth. So sometimes I hope you don't hear me sip on the microphone. So I will try to do my best to keep this quiet and off camera. Okay, so let me get some more cards here. We have Crystal Skull, Wisdom, Clarity, Divine Healing, High Vibrational Energy. Isn't that awesome? And we have this Lremurian Trans-Channeler Crystal here. Beautiful. So there's a lot of ancient wisdom that wants to come in for you. I feel like this is a journey, a healing journey that you're about to go on, where you get some clarity on these feelings, on these emotions that are going to be surfacing after this reading here. We have Mother of Water, Emotional Self-Care. Thank you for confirmation. So this is you loving yourself, honoring your feelings, honoring how you feel, standing up for yourself, standing in your truth, taking care of yourself, honoring your perspective. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, you mothering yourself, taking care of yourself here. The Conjure Woman Manifestation. This new beginning. Like I said, there's several doorways of potential opening up for you. There's a decision that needs to be made. A choice, of course, where you find a compromise, or where you just decide that it's time to move forward. You know, it's time to let go and release yourself. You know, sometimes you can have these arguments with somebody in your mind, these constant conversations stating your position and your feelings with this individual, and the argument that you're having, and this argument's taking place in your head, you know. And it can be something that is very energy draining, and I definitely recommend, if you can't have the conversation in person, you know, like to find a way to have the conversation with the individual. And if you're at that place in the relationship where there is just no compromise whatsoever, that they are just so ego driven, they don't care about your feelings, they don't care about your position, as far as they're concerned, you know, you're just guilty. And I can truly relate to you guys. If anybody is feeling that kind of way, I have family members that are very religious after being down a very dark path, a very addicted path, and then finding relations to a religious belief system, and then very judgmental about the way I choose to live my life. And I'm very nature loving. I appreciate everybody's journey and their own truth to finding a connection to Source Creator. And don't judge anybody. I'm grateful for anybody who's found any kind of spiritual connection in any kind of way, even if it is religion, because I truly believe everything has a purpose and a reason. But I don't like people judging me or shaming me for my beliefs and telling me that I don't believe in God, and placing judgments on me, and that we can't have a relationship because of the way that they perceive, without even not even asking questions or trying to understand or anything, just placing judgment, like, and then just cutting me out of their life. So it's been very, very painful. And it was a sibling of mine that I thought was my soul mate, you know, after so many years of supporting them and being there for them, even through all their struggles. And then just to have them find religion and then just start cutting family out of their life because they don't think the same way, without even asking what you think. It's horrible. But, you know, I mean, I understand now. I used to not understand how families could separate because I loved mine so much. And now, unfortunately, I've had to learn the hard way. And I truly believe that if there's something we don't understand how and why, that we're meant to go through that experience so that we can have the experience, because that's what we're here to do, is learn and grow, and we have to experience it all in order to master this university of Earth, in order for us to ascend into another university. So my heart goes to any of you who have had to cut cords to anybody who means so much to you and have to walk away. But just know that it is for your greater good and their greater good, because you both are learning, growing, and evolving. And sometimes our paths are meant to go in different directions. And, you know, for a time we were together. I'm getting emotional. You guys hang on. But, you know, seasons change and we grow. And I appreciate the time that we spent together. Whew. And I honor that version of them that I was able to experience part of my life with. But I believe we all have to walk our own path, and we all have to learn our own lessons. So I wish them well. I hope that they find, you know, their truth. But I will not change who I am for their approval. You know, I gotta be me, and I gotta honor myself and be true to who I am. And I have self-worth now where I used to not. I used to allow people to treat me, you know, less than I deserved out of my love for them. But I've learned to set healthy boundaries, and I definitely recommend you do them yourself. If this is the situation for you, my heart goes out to pile number 3. Whew. Okay. Let me reground myself. Whew. All right, we have now the Father of Water, balance and harmony. That's what I'm talking about. So we have the Father and the Mother coming out. And for me, I feel like this is your heart. I'm trying to find that balance of giving and receiving, and owning your emotions and mastering your emotions, bringing more awareness to how you feel and understanding why you feel that way. What is your truth? Having more understanding of the truth and getting more clarity about your feelings, and not coming from a place of ego, you know, because the ego wants to be in control. It wants to be right. It wants to right fight, you know, and just be in this position of authority. And I don't feel like that's you at all, but it is mastering the mind so that it can come from a centered heart space of truth and the wisdom, you know, understanding the wisdom, and it's getting into our emotions and clarifying the emotions so that we're not looking at them from a state of stress or anger or fear, where they're controlling our emotions. We're understanding our emotions. We're seeing the truth. We're seeing them with clarity. You know, why do I feel this way? What is the source of this emotion? Is it from this particular experience, or does it go way back to childhood? You know, and it's understanding your reactions and your responses, and why do I react? Why does this trigger me? You know, it's understanding the triggers to those emotions, you know, because sometimes it's not this particular situation. It could be, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You know, there's something else underneath the surface that this just relates to, you know, and it's triggering this old emotion, this old memory to surface so that I can heal it and understand it and process it so that it doesn't come up and get me again, you know, or catch me off guard, or I don't allow somebody to take my power or make me feel powerless, because I understand my emotions, I understand my feelings, I understand my fears, I understand who I am, I know my truth, etc. And this takes a certain level of mastery for you to connect and tune into who you are and your truth. We have fear. Yeah, this is facing the fear of having to walk away, facing the fear of maybe being abandoned or the end of the relationship, you know. And like I was saying, I had to experience that myself, just completely out of the blue, you know, and just, whoa, heartbreaking. And when you go through experiences like that, it does make you question, you know, yourself and the relationship and everything like that. But it does take you on a journey of self-discovery, you know. And when you can understand your fears and you understand your triggers and why, you know, things make me feel a certain kind of way, it's like befriend. You're being asked to befriend your fears and to understand them, where they come from. Because most of the time they come from childhood, when you're a child and you have no control over your environment, you have no control over, you know, your emotions, even what you get to do, how you're brought up, how you're raised, how you're treated, you know, you just you're vulnerable. And we have to forgive ourselves for choosing to incarnate into like this vulnerable position, to have our heart broken, you know, and then to heal ourselves again and come back to a place of accepting ourselves. But when we're children, we go through experiences, and we have a child's understanding about things, and our emotions can be reflecting our childhood to us again, because there's unresolved feelings from our childhood. So we have to heal childhood wounds so that we're not repeating them as an adult, you know, and having adult repeats of the childhood. And so this is where that healing comes from, and going within and mastering our emotions so that we can understand where they come from, where they originate from, and then elevating them so that we have this mastery over our emotions. In this compromise, I feel like this is, you know, it's head and heart, where we have our mind. Instead of the fears of the mind, we bring that energy into our heart space so that we have this heart knowing and understanding of when we have a trigger, we go to fear immediately. It's our inner child warning us like, ooh, I'm starting to feel this kind of way again. Oh, this reminded me of something from my childhood. Ooh, I'm feeling attacked. Oh, I'm feeling out of control. You know, it's bringing that mothering energy to that thought, that fear, and saying, no, 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 no. I know where you come from. I know you're a memory of the past. You're something where I felt like I didn't have control. We're going to let go of that. We're going to heal from that. We're going to come into my heart. I got you. We got this. This is our truth. I know who I am. We're going to handle things in a different way. I got your back. You know, it's being that supportive ally to yourself, you know. We have thinker. Yeah, I feel like this is our mind. Our mind can make us feel, you know, trapped a little bit. Thinking of the past, you know, we're constantly thinking about this issue that we're having, this grudge, this lack of understanding, you know. It can have us all up in our mind and in our feelings about it. To the point where, you know, we feel like we have no control. And in a sense, we don't have control, but it's having like faith and being guided and trusting and listening to our heart and listening to our own inner compass and our wisdom. And that's what lies in our heart, not in our head. Our head are all of our, you know, the potentials, and we shouldn't lean into our fears. We should lean into the potential. But most of the time we all have a lot of fear up there if we have unhealed wounds. And you have this potential for regeneration. And then look on this card. It's a tree that has been like set on fire. And I feel like that is what the process that needs to happen, this regeneration, where you heal some wounds, heal some patterns from the past, this root chakra. this old connection, there's some healing that needs to take place. Whether it's moving on from this connection or, this healing from the experience of this connection. We have why, thinking why. Sometimes, we can ask this till we're blue in the face. Sometimes, like, why? Because sometimes we want to know why. I don't understand, and sometimes, like, we won't know why until, the end. And that's the hard part, is that surrendering to why. And it's coming to peace of mind and understanding that we all have our own journey, and some of us are at different levels of awareness and consciousness, and even like evolution. Some of us have incarnated more times than others, and so some are just young souls and they haven't passed enough classes, they haven't learned enough lessons, and some people they get stuck in lessons and they just keep repeating them over and over again. They get stuck in same relationships, and it's just a repeat relationship, and you'd think they would see the red flags, but they just get comfortable in the pattern. They get comfortable ignoring those red flags, and then guess what? They're not learning, they're not evolving, they're not growing, they're stagnant. And we can't, and it's hard, especially if you're an outsider watching somebody you love go through a situation that they've been in many, many times, and they're not learning their lessons. They just keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again, and that's what I'm trying to get across, is that we're all at different levels of awareness, consciousness, and incarnations. Some people just have to learn, they have to go learn on their own, and they have to have these experiences, and we are there for them in having this exchange of energy in the relationship with them, possibly because we have an Akashic connection to them in past lives. You may have had an experience, an exchange of energy of sorts, whether it could have been good and bad. Maybe you were bad guy and they were good guy, and this time you're good guy and they were bad and they're bad guy, so that you can teach each other these lessons to evolve and grow. And sometimes when we're done with our contracts with these people, we end up having to eventually cut the cords with them and end the contract, because we've learned the lessons. Like, I've learned everything I can learn from having a relationship with you, and it's time to move forward, and I gotta move on, as painful as it is sometimes when you love somebody. But this is who they are in this dimensional realm, in this incarnation. That's who they are. That's not their soul. This is just the character that they're playing in this incarnation. So you have to, understand sometimes we don't know everything. We can't possibly know everything here in the 3D. Our body, our vessel couldn't hold the amount of light and information in this level of density. So sometimes we're just not allowed to know why. We have move in a new direction. Yeah, it's time for you to move on and move forward in whatever way that means for you. See beyond the current situation. Thank you. So I was just talking about, you got to see things from a higher perspective. It's not just this, it's not just black and white. There's more to things than we can even understand. We have trust and thrive. Trust that you're meant to move forward. It's okay for you to be happy. It's okay to let go. It's also okay for you to, find a compromise, but not in a way that makes you feel like you can't honor your truth and be who you really are, But if you're going to stay in a relationship with somebody, there has to be that mutual respect, mutual understanding. We're not going to repeat the same mistake. If we're saying, we're not going to do this again, we're not going to repeat and rehash the same thing over and over again, we're both making truce and we're both honoring that, then yes, you can keep the contact and keep the relationship. But if you can't find the compromise, then by all means it's time to cut the cords and free yourself from having to feel like if you were to move on that you have to, that guilt needs to be involved in any kind of way, You have to free yourself from feeling guilty that your feelings don't matter and that you can't honor how you feel or honor your life and not hold yourself back for somebody else, waiting for them to make the choice and decide that they want the relationship or not. It's time for you to move forward. And I know it can be very hard because I have been there. And yeah, I feel like you really just need to pour into yourself and connect to your truth and heal your heart. And to, find your balance, understand your fears, get in there and understand where they come from and why they're there, and to soothe them, connect to them, to bring them wisdom, bring them truth, because they're not real. They're coming from a place of lack or of wanting to have control in some kind of way, or feeling like there is no control, there's no support, because in your youth, in your childhood, you felt that way in some kind of way. And now you can be the one who nurtures yourself. You have the ability to be that person for yourself in this new beginning, this new path of healing. Okay, pile number 3. I'm going to get you a couple little angel messages real quick to end your reading, to confirm what can we give pile number 3 to help soothe their heart in this decision they have to make moving forward. Pile number 3, please. Whoa. Oh my goodness. We got 7 or 8 cards here. I'm not sure. There's just a lot. Alright, hang on. Whew. We have Tiger's Eye, self-confidence through God confidence. Believe in yourself by believing in God working through you. Let me take a sip, hang on. We have clearing negativity, release negativity from within and around you. Yes, by all means. Spiritual path, your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, which prompts you to make necessary life changes. There's that clarity, that wisdom. Stress reduction, de-stress your mind, body, and schedule as you need to rest, recharge, and receive. Yep, eliminate the stress from your life. Time for you to take care of you, pour your love into yourself. Heightened intuition, be extra aware of your inner knowingness as it is trustworthy. Listen to your intuition. Woo. We have love life, new or renewed romantic love is here for you. So some of this may have been a relationship with somebody that you, like a mate, a partner. Purification and detoxification. It's time to release physical and energetic toxins from your life. Ooh, confirmation. Easy does it. Your health, happiness, and abundance require a gentle approach to life and to work. That's right, taking care of yourself. Stay strong in your faith. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. There we go. Harness your own power, your strength, your intuition. Open your heart, expand your heart. Pour this loving, healing energy into your heart. Love yourself. Pile number 2. Let go of any of these relationships, any of these emotions, these painful feelings that you have, painful thoughts, these fearful thoughts. Let them go, release them, cleanse them, heal them. And allow yourself to be loved, honored, respected, seen for who you really are. Because you deserve that in a relationship. You deserve that balance of give and take, and everything that you pour into the relationship should be the exact same that you receive back in the relationship. You know, it shouldn't be you pouring your whole heart into them and giving everything to them and them just constantly taking and, you know, not honoring how you feel and being respectful of your energy levels and your needs and wants. It should be, you know, honored. Both of you are equal. All right, pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for being a safe space for me to share my heart. Oh my goodness, I got so emotional with you. But thank you for being here on my channel. My heart goes out to you. I'm sending all of my love and light. Y'all take care. Have a blessed day.